Ladies and gentlemen, another day here of Minnesota Viking OTA practice is in the books. I believe this is week 2, but day 1 open to the media, so we do get to see a little bit more highlights, news, notes, observations from this practice. And right here, we can see we got a nice little touchdown. I believe this is Sam Howell throwing down the field to number 82, which I believe is Deshaun Jones or Deshaun Jones. He is someone that signed as a UDFA last offseason and is starting to make a name for himself a little bit this year. Now, obviously, outruns a couple of different DBs, one of them being Jay Ward. This is a 4th-round pick from 2023, I want to say. And then you have 34. 34 is, I want to say, Zemiah Vaughn. Okay, so both guys are a little bit lower on the depth chart, maybe 2nd and 3rd string guys. But Deshaun Jones from Sam Howell, really good job. In this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know from today's practice, from, like I said, the news, the notes, everything. However, before we dive into this video, I do want to give a major shout out to all of the Vikings media members who do such a great job getting these highlights out for us each and every single practice. So go follow them on X or Twitter if you haven't already done so. And with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video and break down all the news and notes from today. Now, in today's practice, we got to see a lot of the wide receivers go through some individual drills. First up, you see Jordan Addison on that quick out. Now, this is a speed, so we're just getting 5 yards and getting out quickly. These are usually good for, bootlegs out to the right or bootlegs out to the left, trying to get that ball out really quickly on 3rd and shorts, or you can run these on 2nd and shorts, whatever you really want to do on short situations. Now, right here, we see Jordan Addison 1 and then Jalen Nailor as the 2nd rep. Jalen Nailor does look like he has put on a decent amount of weight here this offseason. He could be in line for a major jump up this season just in terms of pure volume targets. But again, obviously it's going to be tough whenever you have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You're never going to be leading the team in targets. It is what it is, right? But I do like Jalen Nailor a lot. I think he could be a really good wide receiver, but you also have to talk about the other guys they added. 3rd-round pick Ty Felton, he's probably going to be in line to be getting some snaps here and there. You add Rondale Moore coming over from Atlanta, right? He's also Arizona. He's an early round pick a couple of years back that they liked a lot. Has not developed into the player that he's wanted to be, but he still has a lot of room to grow. From there, you sign Robert Lewis from Auburn. You have Dante Fleming and Deshaun Jones, Lucky Jackson. They have a bunch of guys here that are really good weapons out of the wide receiver room. Now, we did get some more footage here of J.J. McCarthy. Now, nothing too crazy. Obviously, they're not allowed to show too much of 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s just because they don't want other teams to, really watch that film and be able to tell what plays they're going to run, to study for the games and whatnot. So they're not really allowed to record that. So we see some very minuscule type of things like J.J. McCarthy throwing to the coaching staff. We see sometimes McCarthy throwing to some of the wide receivers versus air, not really in coverage. But overall, it is really cool to see J.J. McCarthy out here. And, he's got some big shoes to fill in terms of Sam Darnold and what he was able to add to this team from last season. The season didn't end the way they wanted to, but JJ's in for a really big year. We also got another look at Jordan Mason. Now, he is wearing 27. He'll be primarily that number 2 behind Aaron Jones, but expect him to get a lot of playing time this year as a change of pace. Nice one-cut option out of the backfield here. Former 49er. This is a guy they really do like, and again, I think he's going to get a lot of playing time, and he's going to be able to change a lot for this offense going into next year. Now, when you look at the Minnesota Vikings from last season, there was a couple of things that they wanted to fix up just a little bit. Now, obviously, that offensive line, but when it came to rushing the ball, they ranked 24th in the NFL in yards per rush. Jordan Mason is a guy that can come in right away and not only help out that area of this football team, but can also help their rushing touchdowns per game. Last year, they ranked 29th, almost dead last in the NFL when it came to rushing touchdowns per game. Having him alongside Aaron Jones definitely gives them a secondary guy that they can trust in that goal line, in that red area that can, fight through some yards. And I mean, look how big this dude is, a monster. So get him the football on the goal line and watch him work. Now, real quickly, guys, before we get any further into this Vikings video, do me a massive favor. First of all, hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Helps out the channel so much. But more importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family, and we will be covering the Vikings throughout the entirety of this year's offseason. Now, you may be asking, what does that include? Well, obviously, we're going to cover the rest of OTAs, which is just this week. From there, they're going to start mandatory minicamp, which we should get a lot of footage from mandatory minicamp. And then after these two, they're going to take about a month off. And then from there, they get into training camp. And then pretty much right after training camp, we're in the middle of preseason, right? So not only are we going to cover all of these practices, but then once preseason is here, we're going to be breaking down some all 22 coaches film, heading into the regular season as well. Same thing. So we got you guys covered through every single practice of every single game. So join the family. Turn on post notifications if you haven't already done so. It's free. Doesn't cost anything, like I said. And with that being said, let's dive back into the video. So here's a funny clip of JJ McCarthy just trying to get the ball back to his quarterback over here. And the goes right off Sam Howell's head, it looks like. Actually, maybe 12. It might have been 12's head. It goes off someone's head. Maybe Max Brosmer or Sam Howell, either or. Funny clip there from JJ McCarthy just throwing the ball, hitting him accidentally. But again, another look at this wide receiver core. There's JJ, little quick toss to Aaron Jones afterwards. Trying to build this chemistry up, man. Because remember, they did not play too much at all last year. So again, trying to get that chemistry up to where it needs to be. Overall, OTAs have been really good for the Minnesota Vikings. I think they've done a great job this offseason, adding talent to this football team, ensuring the safety of not only JJ McCarthy, but a bunch of other players here with adding to that offensive line. Not only do you draft a first-round talented guard, potentially tackle, in Donovan Jackson, you also sign Ryan Kelly over from Indianapolis and bring his running mate, Will Fries, with you from Indianapolis as well. And I feel like JJ McCarthy is going to have a really good season because they've added the right pieces around him to ensure that, you know, where they were last year, right? Sam Darnold was 27th in the NFL, right? Ranked, the Vikings in general, ranked 27th in the NFL in QB sack percentage allowed. They just, you know, were not doing great at all in keeping their quarterback healthy. And when you look at JJ McCarthy, his injury, coming back, trying to be the starter this year, the one thing that you need to focus on is keeping him healthy. And how do you do that? Go out and get some offensive linemen. They did exactly that. Now, not only do you have that, you had a backup running back in Jordan Mason, a nice 1-2 punch. You have a really good tight end in TJ Hawkinson that they really do like. That chemistry is continuing to build. And then you have a really good wide receiver core in Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, Ty Felton, Rondale Moore, Lucky Jackson, Robert Lewis. They have so many guys here that are ready to work, ready to just win some football games. So big shout out to this Minnesota Vikings team. OTAs are just, you know, getting started, kind of mandatory minicamp next week. We'll have a lot more to cover. And with that being said, hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.